Okay, so the reflective journal, I mulled over this quite a bit about whether to include it. And I think it's a really good idea. So let's give it a try. And the reason I think it's a good idea is I did this when I was doing my doctorate. I even have a copy of it somewhere. I should actually show you, although it's in in those old days, we didn't have computers to do this, so I did it handwritten. Although, yes, there were computers. But I digress. It was really helpful to focus, particularly on some difficult issues when I was doing the thesis. So let's give it a try. It's just once a week. I would expect about 15 minutes. It could be longer if that's what you want. That's fine. But the reason it's important is when you're completing a doctoral thesis, the journal can really help clarify your thinking, build focus, provide direction, especially when you feel stalled. The other reason is you'll see in a second, I will see this feedback, and based on your feedback, I can help you one-on-one if you need that, or I can sort of see if there's patterns within the class. Now, there's some evaluation criteria, and I'll let you go through this. It makes sense. I just wanted to help you guide your entries. And then there are the submission requirements. So you'll, it's two steps. So please forgive me, but there's a reason for this. So first of all, you have to actually get this document and it'll go to this copy thing, and then you'll have to make a copy and ensure that I have access to that copy, because I actually don't know where this is going to make the copy right now, and eventually I'm going to have to um, put it in a folder. In your case, you're going to put it in your Google folder. Notice it says copy of this reflective journals. Put your last name up here so that I know whose journal it is. The reason I did this is that it's sort of nicely organized by week so you can see when it's due and you don't get lost. So here you can see, I know it looks kind of dense even to me, but really what I'm asking is what did you learn what have you learned this week and what progress did you make? So this kind of keeps you flowing, going, what's going on. And here's some suggestions that might help you. And then what challenges are you experiencing? And be as specific as possible. And that's really important. So you're going to put that here because your challenges may be other people's challenges, and then we can address them in class. Same thing for questions. And then the last thing I'd like you to reflect on is the use of Gen AI because you'd be doing this using it on a fairly regular basis. Some of you may be accepting of that, some of you may be resistant to that, and that's totally fine either way. I just want to understand this messy business of using Gen AI and research in the research domain because Gen AI is becoming a increasing presence in this. We're now having Gen AI used to review articles for journals. So that's interesting. It's definitely great for brainstorming. It's good for helping you kind of analyze some articles. So, however, we don't want it to take all of our cognitive work because then who's doing the work? So I want to understand from your perspective how it feels. And this is kind of important for me so I can help guide the process. I don't have all the answers with Gen AI and research, but I do know there's some really valuable tools like Notebook LM out there or Semantic Scholar, which could really help save you some time without, I think, it'll reduce your cognitive load in some areas, but it'll really help improve the quality of your work. Okay, so once you've done this and you've made your entries, you'll have to go to here. And I apologize for this step, but it's the easiest way that I can get this information as a whole. So you put your first name, your second name, you simply just copy and paste your work here, and then it'll go into a nice spreadsheet, and then I can take a look at that and respond to it. So that is the reflective journal, and I hope I trust it will be useful, but I'm sure you'll let me know if it isn't.